Good morning, everybody. This is Jorge Fernandez with KETIV. I'm joined today by Joe Meridian and Ryan Stefani, both members from KETIV as well. For those of you who might not know me already from some of the engagements we've had before, I'm a solutions engineer for KETIV, and I work very closely with the sales team as well as with our customers to make sure you're getting the best value out of the products you have from Autodesk today. Today we're going to discuss Autodesk Industry Collections, and we'll be discussing what an industry collection is, as well as what that benefit is to you as well. And we're also going to go over some frequently asked questions. We've actually gathered some of the top ones we think would be more important, but we can always give that to you at the end as well. We'll also go over some current promotions as well as have a Q&A at the end of the session as well, so make sure you stick around to the end. So first thing we want to talk about is why industry collections. What exactly is Autodesk doing here? Well, Autodesk, took a step back and wanted to take a look at what was it that the customers were asking for. So they interviewed a lot of different customers, and they wanted to know, what would you prefer, how would you prefer it to work, and how can we add more value for you guys. So in order to do that, to give you a better price point as well, they come up with the industry collections, which are going to be much more flexible and much more simple. By flexible and simple, what we really mean is that you'll be able to manage the licenses much better now. So a contract, a contract manager, for example, will be able to go in there and assign specific people to the industry collection. It makes it much more flexible as well, so that you don't have to worry about the licensing. You can know who's got what assigned, not have to keep an Excel sheet, for example, in order to keep track of everything. And also, if you're traveling, if you need to assign to different people, you can very easily switch that as necessary. So what are some other benefits? One thing I definitely wanted to bring up, this literally happened to me 2 days ago, where I was having an issue with PowerPoint, and I asked my IT guy, hey, can I get the latest release of Microsoft Office? So he said, yeah, sure, no problem. And I thought, well, he's going to get back to me at the end of the day, let me know what's going on. He literally went over there and assigned me to one of the licenses. We have, 20-something licenses, for example, and he was able to quickly add me to that pool, and then I could just download the products that I needed. That's what Autodesk is looking to do for you. We're making it easier to be able to say, I now need this. Let's go ahead, download it, and add it to my pool. And then we also wanted to make sure you had flexible terms. In other words, there might be times where you maybe hire on a new engineer or a temp, maybe even an intern for the summer, and you decide, well, I want to be able to have that license just for that time. I don't have to buy a full license, think about keeping it on for the entire year necessarily. I can just drop users as needed. At the same time, some of us are traveling a lot more. I know I personally need to take my licenses to Mexico for some of the implementations we've been doing lately, for example. I can now take that with me. I can have things assigned to me as necessary and be able to log in and get the products that I need. Thus, again, you have the administrative tools as well, so that as an IT manager, contract manager, whoever's managing the license can actually go in there and and assign the seats, as I've been mentioning here. Again, eliminates the need to have to keep a separate, Excel sheet or some other way of trying to keep a track of who's got what serial number. It's all within the subscription page that you'll be logging into. So now let me discuss what the industry collections look like. There's 3 industry collections. There's product design, architectural engineering construction, known as AEC, and media and entertainment. Now, in the product design collection, this is what most of you might have known as product design suite. For all those that are on the call, whether you're in manufacturing, AEC, or media and entertainment, you were used to suites where you had the standard, premium, ultimate, for example. We've taken that confusion away. Everyone gets product design suite or product design collection. I'm sorry. What this means is, and you'll see highlighted here, is Inventor Professional, for example. A lot of the times we'd say, well, it'd be great to have some FBA, but I'm not going to change my license over to an Ultimate or to Inventor Pro just to have that one feature. You no longer have to worry about that. Inventor is not just Inventor anymore, it's Inventor Professional. Anyone who gets the product design collection will have the capabilities to do FEA, the capability to do tooling, tubing and piping, all within Inventor Professional. On top of that, you get a lot of the things you've been used to before, perhaps, if you have like Ultimate, or you get AutoCAD Electrical. You no longer have to think about, well, do I want Premium, do I want Ultimate, I might use Electrical, not that much. You get it, and you can decide when you want to use it. Download it when you want to use it, install it when you want to use it. Now, another thing that I'm going to bring up right now is factory design utilities. So for some of you on the call, I know I've spoken to some customers where they said, well, I'd like to dabble in factory, but I don't want to have to buy a new seed, or I don't want to have to transfer my license to factory now and maybe risk losing on one of the products that I really wanted. Now that's part of the product design collection, which to me it really makes sense because sometimes your work might not be dedicated to 100% looking at your factory facility. Maybe instead you just need to dabble in that a little bit, decide to put the facility together. You can now utilize those tools that install into AutoCAD Mechanical, AutoCAD Architecture, and Inventor. With this, you still get a lot of the same stuff you've had before, like 3ds Max and Vault Basic as well, so you don't have to lose any of those capabilities for like rendering, for example. Now, for those of you that are on this webinar about from the AEC industry, so now we've bundled the civil and architectural worlds into one. Again, it's about making it simpler for you, easier for you to collaborate. There could be times when even if you're a civil firm, you might have to open up a Revit file, for example, or vice versa, right? Now you don't have to go try and get some kind of viewer, some other type of way of opening up that file. You get it all within the collection. Again, you don't have to download and install Revit if you're a civil firm, or vice versa. You can choose at any time to download it and install it as part of your collection. You'll see there's basically all the different AutoCADs that exist you will get, from architectural to MEP, even electrical, as well as Plant 3D as well. I know Autodesk interviewed a lot of people, and they found out, to which industries, which products really mattered. Plant being more in the AEC industry. So let me give you another example. I know that a lot of people who are working in plants sometimes have to create their own products, like vessels or special flanges and things like that. So just because there's a collection doesn't mean you can't still, get Inventor separately as well. So all of these products are still available as, a single product, or you can get a collection, or you can get both, of course. And also our friends in the media and entertainment. I know some of our customers sometimes purchase 3ds Max for, specific people within their own company so that they can do their renderings to the product, especially in AEC, for example. So there is an entire collection available there as well if that becomes more advantageous. Instead of just having 3ds Max, for example, maybe they do want to use the rendering in the cloud with A360. Or maybe they do want to use Recap as well to bring in cloud data and so forth. So again, it's all about adding value at a great price point, which Ryan will go over in just a bit as well. We'll also go over some frequently asked questions here, things that will be important for all of you to know. Of course, we can answer questions on this webinar and afterwards as well, but I'll go ahead and let Joe go over the frequently asked questions now.
Yeah, thank you, Jorge. So my role on the team is really to work with all of our customers, help you keep all your assets up to date, and really make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that you own. And surprisingly, a lot of people don't know exactly what they own. So, that's kind of our role here, is to help you take advantage of what you guys have. And with that, there's a lot of questions that we get from our customers. So we've kind of highlighted the top 4 that we get. Feel free, like Jorge said, type in your questions at any time. We're going to go over a live session at the end. But some of the most popular ones we hear about, do I need to download the entire industry collection? So this is one thing that has changed compared to the old product design or building design suites. You can actually just pick and choose which products in the collection you want to download. So before, it was kind of a pretty taxing event to download an entire product design suite Ultimate. It downloaded in 6 parts. You had to download the entire thing in order to get access to all the tools. Now with the industry collection, you can just say, if you're only going to use AutoCAD Mechanical, Inventor, maybe AutoCAD Electrical, and Vault Basic, you can download all of those and leave all the other ones. You don't need to download those ones. You always have the option to download them as you need them, but you don't have to do such a large download at one time.
And also, let me add, Joe, that for those of you that are on the user end and want to download these, there is an Autodesk app as well that you'll have, so that if you have access to those according to your user that you've logged into, you will have those where you can just click on it, download as well. We have AVA, Autodesk Virtual Academy sessions that have gone over this as well, but let us know if you want more information on that. We can get that to you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. So one of the questions I hear personally the most, because I'm on the subscription team and I really help manage these contracts, is how do you consolidate them? There's companies that we work with that they have perpetual licenses on maintenance. They have subscription licenses, product design suites, AutoCADs, and now they're moving into the industry collections. And there's different types of licensing, the perpetual basis, single user, multi-user, cloud tools, and it kind of becomes a mess when you have a bunch of different tools on different contracts. So part of the thing that we like to do is help you consolidate those. It's definitely possible to have all of your contracts line up on one date, have one end date per year that you need to worry about. When it's time to renew those, you can renew those all at once rather than having to do, 6 different requests for purchases a year. Some of our customers like to do that just for cash flow reasons, but if you want to consolidate all of those, you definitely can. Feel free to contact me directly. We'll be more than happy to work on that with you so it's easier for you guys to manage. Another thing that goes with consolidating contracts is consolidating serial numbers. Sometimes you might have 10 AutoCAD licenses that are shared via network. You can actually consolidate those all onto one serial number even and deploy one serial number for your whole team, which is somewhat easier to manage as well. All of those we're here to help with. Another big question, will internet connection be required? So there's a couple answers to this question. For perpetual licenses, no. Other than downloading the tools, you don't need to. But for industry collections, it's a little bit different. So if you are a single access user, you need to download the software via an internet connection, so that's one thing. But after that, you only need to connect to the internet once every 30 days, and all that is a slight ping to the Autodesk server to verify that the term length of the license, that the term is still current. That's all it does. There's no, you don't have to store anything in the cloud. The program still runs locally. There's a lot of things that you can do locally, so you do not need to be connected to the internet at all times. It's just to verify the license. Now, we do realize that there are customers that, for security regulations, they do not have any internet access, period. So for those customers, what I would really suggest doing is look at the multi-user access, which runs off of the network. So you never have to have internet connection to do this. You can still request media from Autodesk. They'll send you a thumb drive so you can download that locally, which prevents you from needing access to the internet. And once you have them installed on your server and then on your local machines, all you got to do is communicate with the server, and then you can check in and out the licenses. The server software that manages the licenses will let the system know that the subscription term is still current, so it'll still work. And finally, can I switch to an industry collection? So that's one of the biggest questions we've got in the last 2 weeks since these have been available. Yes, you can. So there's ways to go about that. You can switch to an industry collection. If you have a current subscription, there is a way to do that. I'm going to go over that in a little bit more detail in the next slide here because this is such a big question for us. So this is all about switching to an industry collection here. If you have a 1, 2, or 3-year term of, let's say, a premium or ultimate design suite, so say a product design suite, a building design, factory design suite, if you have a premium or ultimate version of that suite, you can migrate that to an industry collection for the remainder of your term for no charge. So what that would look like is you just trade up to it. This, by the way, will be available in October. It's not available as of today, but it should be available in about 5 to 6 weeks. So again, if you have a subscription, so a term-based subscription license, not perpetual, you can transition that to an industry collection at no charge as long as you have a premium or ultimate suite. Let's say you have an AutoCAD and it's not a premium or ultimate suite. You can pay to upgrade to an industry collection. It's as simple as paying the difference between the two costs of what you've paid versus what today's rates are for the industry collections. And then there's a proration effect to that as well. So if there's only 6 months left on your contract, we'll charge you 50% of the difference in cost between the two. So you're not paying for more than what you're using. We'll be more than happy to answer more questions on that when we get more details about it. We know this will be available sometime in October of 2016. As of now, that's about all we know as far as the dates are concerned. I'm sure we'll have another one of these webcasts closer to that date, so be sure to take a look at that when it's out as well. Now, if you have a quarterly or monthly subscription, these are on such short cycles that most likely you're going to run out of that cycle soon enough to where you can just let that expire and purchase another license. So you basically, if you have a product design suite or you have an AutoCAD for a quarter or a month, just let wait the week or even the rest of the month, let that expire and acquire a new one, or acquire a new one now. There's not a way to transition that to a product design collection. Now, there's two options here for perpetual licenses. Most of our customers have perpetual licenses that are on this webcast. So there's two different options. You have a perpetual license with a maintenance plan, which means that you have the most latest features and software versions available to you. You get support, you get travel rights, you get cloud storage. There's a lot that go with that. But what it is, if you have a perpetual license with a maintenance plan, as of today, there is not a way to get you to transfer to an industry collection. You can always keep your maintenance plan up to date. I highly recommend doing that. That is by far the best course of action you can take, is if you have a perpetual license on maintenance, make sure you keep it on maintenance. It's more cost effective to keep that form of licensing current than it is to stop and then reacquire in a year or two when you need the latest version. So as of right now, just keep your maintenance up to date. There's not a way to transition to industry collections at the moment. There may and probably will be in the future, but as of right now, there is not. Now, a perpetual license without a maintenance plan is a little bit different. I'm going to let Ryan talk about that in a little bit more detail here. However, you just need to know there is definitely a way to do this. There's some great incentives around doing this right now. So I'm going to give this over to Ryan. He's going to talk a little bit more about the benefits for IT managers and then get into the promotions.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Yeah, there are some benefits for both executives and IT managers. Like, to start, really you're getting more for your money. If you look at what's included in these industry collections, you are getting a lot of tools at a much lower price than even what the product design suite or the building design suites of old would offer you. Autodesk has done a really good job formulating some attractive pricing, considering the tools that you get. For example, if you're looking at an a la carte Revit license, you're looking at about $2,000 annually. If you were to purchase the AEC collection, you're looking at about $2,690. So really, if there's a need for more than one tool, it would behoove you to jump into a collection because you're getting all those tools. Some of the operational costs we'd save. I mean, really, if you're looking at the subscriptions, they've added so much flexibility. A lot of our customers will bring on an intern, or they have a project specific where they need to have add 3 or 4 licenses, but they only need it for a term of 3 months. They can scale up or scale back without any sort of penalty on that. There's just a lot more flexibility. Gone are the days where you had to spend all this money up front for licenses that may not be used in the future. So this just really adds some flexibility to that. Before with these suites, if you had them on subscription, you wouldn't be able to do a multi-user. Now with the collections, you are able to do multi-user network. So here is just kind of an overview of the pricing for the collections. Again, they've done a really nice job of keeping those prices low, even lower than what the suites were prior to this that you could subscribe to. So you're getting more tools at a lower price. Now, currently, Autodesk is running a promotion during this transition where you can trade in and trade up an old license. So, say for example, you have an old AutoCAD mechanical that fell off, maintenance in 2011. That license would be eligible to trade in for 50% off a new 3-year subscription. So, we see a lot of our customers that have some old licenses. They want to add another seat, and maybe they don't know that they have the license. We can run an asset report, see what they have, see what they're eligible for. Also keep in mind if it's an LT license that the trade-in would only be for that LT family product as well. Additionally, we are offering 1.9% financing for 12 months on purchases of 5,000 and more. This is good. You know, a lot of our customers, you know, they have the barrier to entry on the software because of the pricing up front. This will spread out the payments, you know, over 12 months with no payments up to 90 days. Just really, if you know you need licenses and price is an issue or budget, this is a really good way to spread out the payments so you can get the tools you need now. One thing that we are doing here at KETIV as well, offering 20% off our Inventor Update Training course, which is one of our most popular courses here. A lot of our customers that are coming up for renewal, you know, are picking up this class, especially with the savings they're getting, you know, with a trade-in. You know, it's really an incentive for them to apply those savings to, you know, a class that can, you know, return a greater ROI for them. You know, the class is really going to go over some of the enhancements with the Inventor, new updates, and just kind of keep you up to date with all that.
Yeah, we've actually found a lot of our customers are still like on 2015. So this class isn't just, you know, hey, what's new from 2016 to 2017. You know, there's a lot of times that I think when people upgrade, you don't realize there's some tools that you could be using, taking better advantage of. This class is a tailored class, by the way, but if you want more information, let us know. You know, this is a very popular class right now, so we wanted to share this with you and hope that more people are able to take advantage of it.
So, one thing I'd like to note too on the trade-in, if you're looking at, you know, the 3-year, you know, if you're, say, product design collection you're looking at, you have a eligible trade-in, you know, the normal cost for 3 years would be around $73.80. With that trade-in, you're looking at about $36.90 for 3 years. So it's almost about right around $4,000 of savings for the 3 years. Plus, you're locking in that price for 3 years.
So I just wanted to really hit home on that. You know, like Ryan said, it's a huge savings. You know, it's about a 50% savings when you do trade in. And what I really wanted to focus on is the number of products that are available for this trade-in. This is by far the biggest trade-in promotion I've seen from Autodesk since I've been here, because there's licenses that may have been purchased back in the late 90s would qualify for this promotion. So maybe you purchased an AutoCAD in 1999, it's been sitting on the shelf for the last 10 years. It's worth nothing. You know, you don't use it. It still works, but it's such an old version it's not going to work with new hardware. You know, all the features are somewhat outdated compared to the newer versions. So why don't, you know, it would make sense to take that license off your shelf and trade it in for a new subscription, even if you don't need it immediately. If you need it in 6 months or even a year from now, because you're getting such a big discount. You know, like an AutoCAD is normally $1,680 per year. So for 3 years, the normal rental price is about $5,000. With this trade-in promotion, you get 3 years for about $2,250. So it's more than 50% off. It's 50% off of a 3-year. A 3 year's already discounted. So it really is a great promotion. If you have any questions about if your software qualifies, definitely contact me, contact your account manager, contact Ryan. We'd be more than happy to help you work through that.
Right. Thanks, guys. So in summary, I wanted to drive home industry collections. It's an awesome way now that Autodesk is moving forward with the subscription method now of software, you know, where you can get the product design collection, for example, AEC or media entertainment, and it takes away the confusion of having to go through, you know, well, do I really want this suite? I'd like this, but I don't need that. It's all in there. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And you can still have single user or multi-user, so if you're used to a network license, you can still have that. Single user makes it great as well to be able to take great advantage of assigning licenses to somebody whenever necessary. And it's flexible and simple to use. Like I mentioned, I did it a couple of days ago with Microsoft, for example, Office. Works very similar way. Of course, in this case, you're you know, getting into your subscription page as well. So with that said, here we'll move into the Q&A section. So we're going to open it up here, take a look at some of the questions that you, some of you have been inserting into this.
Yes, the first question I see here was asked by Jeremy. Jeremy, yes, let me ask a question first. Is this going to be recorded? Yes, this is going to be recorded. All of our sessions are recorded and they're put up on our YouTube channel. So for some of you that aren't familiar, we have these webcasts that are more informative about some of the new products that are available. Then we have the KETIV Virtual Academy, which is more of a technical demonstration of the tools and features inside the tools. So we have multiple playlists on our YouTube channel. I definitely recommend subscribing to KETIV Technologies YouTube channel so you can get the updates. We will send out the recording to this probably later today, if not over the weekend sometime, so you will be able to reference it, watch it, maybe you have a little bit more time to really focus on what we're talking about. I know most of you are probably working on projects at work right now. So yes, it's absolutely available. If you subscribe to this, if you register to this, you'll get a notification for that. So let me go to the next question here. One question, will I be able to switch an auto-renewing subscription to an industry collection? So that is kind of, the quarterly or the monthly programs that we have for the subscription terms, those are typically auto-renew. So those will not qualify. I went into why the monthly and quarterly will not be able to qualify to switch. The term lengths are pretty short, so when that's over, you can just acquire a new one as needed. So as of right now, there's no way to switch from an auto-renewing contract to a term license. Simply let it expire and purchase another one. Make sure you cancel it if it's monthly, though, because you will be billed for it if it is auto-renewing. Okay, let me go to the next one here. One question I see here from John, it went away, is what if the product that I want is not available in the industry collection? So that's a really good question. Most of the tools, most of these collections have more tools than you're going to need. For the rare circumstance that it doesn't have something that you need, let's say that you are in the AEC industry, you're working with plants, you might need Inventor, and Inventor is not included in the AEC industry. You can still acquire Inventor on its own. So industry collections are not the only products that are available. You can still go out and buy AutoCAD or Inventor or Fusion 360 on their own, a la carte products. And those have similar term lengths as subscription. And if you just need one, it will be more cost effective for you to just buy one of them. However, most of you on this call are going to or already do use more than one tool. That's where the industry collection is going to bring more value. But if you just need one, then that's definitely an option for you as well.
I'll take this question. I see there's one. If you go with an industry collection, can we have one user using one program and another using a different program? In this case, it works a lot like the suite, where you have one license of an industry collection, and that's for one user. So you don't split that up. Like one person can use AutoCAD out of that collection, and another one uses Inventor out of that same collection. It's per user gets access to all of those.
Yeah, there's another question. Jason Mers had a couple questions here about pricing. I see we're back on the pricing slide. Can you go back to the product list slide for the AEC?
Oh yeah, sure.
I know we kind of went over these real quick. This is also available on our website, on the Autodesk website. If you have any questions specifically, let us know. Just so you know, the AEC collection really got the most products rolled into it. There were some things from the product design that went into their factory, even civil, the infrastructure design suite. All of those kind of got rolled into one collection for AEC, so you'll see the list of tools here.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I see someone else asked about, if one person can use Revit while another person uses AutoCAD. Again, a collection is per user, right? So if Kyle, for example, is using Revit, then Kyle would have access to use AutoCAD for that same one license. So if you want someone to use two out of that, it's still two users in that case.
Yeah, you can't. It acts as a whole license. A suite is its own license, essentially. So you can't have 10 people using one product of each.
Right. Collection, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. All right, well, that is about the most of our questions. I'll give you guys another minute or so to type any questions that you have. Again, feel free to call us directly. If you have any questions, or email questions@ketiv.com. That'll get distributed to one of us, and we'll be happy to, share the answer with you.
I just see one. Someone's asking if they have a mix of network licenses, of perpetual and subscription, with multi-user. So this can happen, right? Let me rephrase that a little bit. So someone could have a network license of a perpetual license today, like a suite, and you might also buy a new industry collection license of multi-user, which is also a network seat technically. So you can mix those first of all. There is, and we can always again send you the frequently asked questions where it has this answer. But you can go. I believe it goes individual products first, subscription second, then perpetual licenses, then the industry collections, and finally design and creation suites. So I know that's a lot to remember right now. We have this recorded, of course, and again, we can always send this information to you as well. And you can always call our support line also if you have Lifeline or would like to get Lifeline to be able to help you with that, because the way the cascading license works can be modified as well. So that's kind of a specific question, but a lot of you could start finding yourselves in that same situation or scenario. And we're glad to help you with that.
Yeah, and if you're an IT manager or you're used to this, you might know exactly what Jorge is talking about, and most of you probably do. I just want to make sure what happens is say you have an AutoCAD individual product and you have a product design collection. If someone on the network pulls an AutoCAD, you want that AutoCAD individual product to be pulled onto their computer first. That way, if somebody needs to pull Inventor an hour later, they can pull the product design collection rather than the opposite version. If someone just needs AutoCAD, they pull the collection, and then every other product in that collection gets locked out because it's in use, even though those specific tools aren't in use. So again, that is a pretty specific question. I'm glad we addressed it though, because it was a good question. So yeah, that's definitely something we can help with when you guys are ready.
One thing I'd like to point out too is that Autodesk really listened to the customers in formulating these simplified packages. So they felt that with the feedback they were getting from their customers, that these would be the tools that each industry could ever want, essentially. So they really listened to the community, and that's how they formulated the simplified packaging.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't just come out of the air. It did come from suggestions from everybody. Even Idea Station is another place where a lot of the users and community can input things they'd like to see in the product. So Autodesk is listening. If you want something to be heard, we can help you with that too. And there's Idea Stations out there. We can always provide the link for that to be able to give more feedback and add what you'd like to see more out of what the products that you have today.
Absolutely, and just like Autodesk listens, we listen too. So anything that you want to see on these webcasts, our KETIV Virtual Academy, the Autodesk Virtual Academy that I just mentioned, feel free to call your account manager, call your Lifeline support rep, call me, send us an email at questions@ketiv.com with any feedback. We'd be more than happy to take that in consideration for future sessions. We're really trying to keep this conversation two-way, not just one-sided, so we really want your input as well.
That's right.
And it looks like those are about all the questions that we have. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody, for being on. Again, feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you have more questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.